I'm going to try to, in 1 hour, to talk about how to make success with your digital communication. My name is Johan Bollman, and of course, English is not my native language, but I was requested to speak in it. Is it how many speak English and how many English? Swedish native? Dutch? So I only know 2 or 3, so we'll stick to English. So, but since it's not native, I hope you excuse me if stumble or fumble on the words. I'm having a Google Translate right now up in my head, trying to sort everything out. Just raise your hand if something during the presentation, if you think something is wrong or you just want to ask a question, just ask. It's much more fun than me just blabbing all the time. So if something seems weird, just ask. Welcome, no worries. Just drop in. It's like in high school. So, let's start, all right? Just keep in mind, if any questions, just ask. Much more fun. This is about digital communication. And the thing with digital communication, when we talk about how to make success of it and how to reach out to an audience, you should think about what's happening and you talk about the future. But I want to make a point that everything I'm going to talk about today is today. This is what happens right now and not in the future. It's not like the fax machine. It came, it was big, and it disappeared in 35 years. The thing we talk about here is it's a 2-year period. You never know, even if Facebook looks great and big, and you never know where it's going to be in 2 years. All right, so it's today. So take it with you and use it today. But if we're going to start about communication, I have to back it up a little, because all communication is founded by the digital growth of information technology, the exponential growth, and it actually comes from Moore's law. Anybody heard of it? What it is? Oh, I understand. Somewhere in school I read about this. Gordon E. Moore was a guy from Intel. In 1965, he wrote a paper that he realized that the components of a circuit board was doubling every 2 years. And they called it the Moore's law. And since it was doubling every 2 years, it grew exponentially. And this kind of law, it's actually not a law, but is the way that some people have been predicting the technological future. For example, Steve Jobs, he predicted his own iPad over 10 years before he actually made it. And a lot of other people have been saying what's going to happen in 5 years and 10 years technologically. And they're using Moore's law, since they're trying to figure out how fast will the computers be in 5, 10 years, and what can we do with it, all right? So the thing is, the base of it is exponential growth. And I will come to, I see it in your eyes, why is he talking about this? It's supposed to be digital communication, but I will come to that. Our minds work in a linear way. Every new thing that comes along, we think about it in a linear way. If we take 30 steps linearly, we come to 30, right? That's no weird stuff. But when it comes exponentially, something that doubles in each period, for example, in every 2 years, it grows exponentially. If you take 30 steps exponentially, you come to 1 billion. So we start with 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and so forth. So in 30 steps, you come to 1 billion. And that's how the technology is driving and growing. And right now, we're something about here, we've called it an E. It's been going really fast, and everybody's saying in the latest couple of years, it's been growing exponentially fast. And to visualize this, and this comes down also to communication, what exponential growth is, you should talk about germs when you talk about exponential growth. If you have one little germ, see if we can figure this one out. At 12 o'clock, we drop one little germ that grows exponentially, and it doubles every minute. So in 1 hour, it doubles 60 times. So if we drop one little germ in the glass at 12 o'clock, and we know that at 1 o'clock, the glass is full. So the math lesson is, what time is it when the glass is half full? Any guess?
1 minute to 1.
That's correct. Brilliant people here. It is actually 12:59. And that's the thing. Because in the next minute, it will double and the glass will be full. And this is the same thing with technical evolution. 12:58, 57, 56, 55. 12:50, you don't see anything. So if somebody told you at 12 o'clock that this one will grow really fast, watch out, and you sit there and wait for 50 minutes, you don't see crap. So you probably will say that, oh, there's something wrong with this, nothing happens. But then in the last second, a lot of stuff happens. And if you don't watch it, the glass is full. And what happens if you come back 10 minutes later? It's really full. And in 30 minutes, it will be 1 billion glasses full of germs in your living room if you have it. And this is exponential growth. So what does this have to do with communication? Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
No worries.
Exponential audience.
Yeah, exponential. It grows, so every minute now it will be doubling. So what does exponential growth has to do with communication? Communication is driven by the technological things we have. We're bound to it. In just a couple of years ago, all communication was made by ads. We were putting, the bigger ad you put out, the louder you screamed. That's why before Spotify, you needed a big, strong label to be able to put out advertising for all your music or whatever it was. You needed something to spread the word with a lot of money and a lot of muscles. But the thing is about screaming the most or having the biggest ads doesn't work anymore because our communication channels and the way we communicate has been changing. So this doesn't work anymore, and this works. This is the new way of communicating by relationships. And that's a big, big difference when it comes to marketing. I know there's something new for most people because we Snapchat and we do LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram. It's nothing new. But it's the way we communicate that's important. And that's what's often lacking in marketing strategies. And that's what I'm going to come to. The reason it doesn't work by just screaming and putting it out there and paying as much as possible for Google AdWords or Facebook or Instagram is because it's too much. It's too much out there. I'm going to show you some numbers I just found yesterday. For example, my son is trying to be a YouTuber. He's been trying for many years, and I'm encouraging him. But then I show him this, that it's 400 hours of new material uploading on YouTube every minute. So if you're going to be that 1 2-minute clip that want to hit the roof, you have to say something more and just scream and do stuff. You have to connect in a way. And you can't just buy your way out through this massive stuff. You see, it's doubling. It's exponential. It's amazing. Welcome. There's over 30 million songs on Spotify, and around 20,000 is added every day, every 24 hours. So if you thought you made one super hit, it's 20,000 more hits added tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. There's around 500,000 new Facebook profiles added every day. Everybody thinks they're unique. There's around 350 million images uploaded on Facebook every day. And this is just a few examples. There's around 60 billion messages sent by WhatsApp every day. And this is just a few of them. I haven't mentioned all the others. So all this combined, it's a huge noise out there. And in this noise, we're trying to reach out to an audience or to get them to see us and get our stuff. And that needs another strategy to build from the ground up. And just to make the last point, the total amount of data that will be created by us in the world in the next 24 months is greater than all the combined data created by mankind since history of Earth. That is the exponential growth. You're all quiet. You're like shocked now, so or you just understand nothing. It's right.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm thinking about the uploads on YouTube.
Yes.
Do you know how many uploads that are actually meant for a wider audience? Because like now, I made my own upload on YouTube the other week, but it was just for it wasn't it was sort of a secret. Yeah. It was just for a group of people. Yeah.
Did you have it in private mode so nobody else
can
search for it?
Yeah. So do you know how many uploads
no, actually,
that are
No,
I'm really meant for, oh, see me, look at me.
actually, it's really hard to find exact. The same with Spotify. They don't tell you exactly how many songs they have, and same with Facebook. It's kind of a secret. But of course, I don't know how many hours of those hours are private upload.
Yeah.
Maybe bedroom movies or other stuff that nobody's supposed to see. But and how many want to be the next Justin Bieber or whatever.
Right.
But it's a lot of material, and it's growing all the time. And of course, since we have a whole new generation want to be YouTubers, so I guess it's going to be more public stuff than us little older people that usually don't want to share anything. But this is the reality that you have to face when it comes to marketing. If you ignore this and think it was like before, it's not going to work. And this is I know this is kind of obvious statement. But the thing is, that we don't realize always, that internet has given the customer, or us, unlimited access to information. We don't think about it, we just take it for granted. But for example, when I was a kid, I was walking around with my mom, and I saw a flower, and I said, "Oh mom, what kind of flower is this?" And she's like, "Oh, it's blah blah blah, pelagoon, something." And obviously she was lying, because she didn't have any idea what it was. But I was, all right, and you believed her, because I've always been wondering how she could have the answers of everything I asked. Without Google, just answering. I know now that she was lying, but anyway. And if we go to this time, my daughter is 11. She never asked me any of these questions. The only question she asked me is, "Where's mom?" But she never asked me any, what kind of flowers. She goes there, take Google image recognition, photo the flower, and she does a search, and then she tells me, "Oh, Dad, look, this is a blah, 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 Latin name, blah, blah, blah. Did you know?" And I was like, "No, I had no idea." And I felt like, what the heck? But I'm still your dad. Hi, welcome. I love this Exponential. It actually makes a point. It's great. So, the whole scenario has changed. We now have access to so much information, and it also changes the game. And since we have all this information, it's given us and the customer, everybody, the opportunity to compare services, music, and stuff. When I was a kid, when it comes to music, I ran to the store out here and I asked if I can listen to the new album, and I stood there and I was like, "Can I listen to one more?" "No, there's another guy coming." "Oh, I'm sorry. And do you want to buy it?" "Yes." And I just took the album and bought it. 149 crowns. Thank you. Came home. One song was good. The rest was crap. I was like, damn it. That was my whole monthly allowance. Now you can sample 30 million songs just by, you don't even have to have a subscription. You can just listen to some parts of the song and say, "Oh, this looks like." And if you find a song that's great, or whatever, you find a product, you just say, "I want to find more of these," and the system just adds up. These are the same category, you should also like this, blah, blah, blah. My wife buys tons of shit at Hennes & Mauritz, because every time she adds something to the cart, Hennes & Mauritz says, "Yeah, you also like this probably." And of course, it's usually like that. So it's one and two things. So, since we can compare stuff so much easier, we don't need the information from the people that are actually selling the stuff. We can just read and make a choice before we actually come in contact with the product or the service we want to buy. So the modern consumer is actually digitally driven, it's socially connected, mobile, and constantly searching for information. And this is the foundation if you're going to think about marketing whatever you're going to market. And you have to take this into consideration at all times. How do you get through to this audience? I'm just going to jump back in time a little. Fast. This is one of my favorite guys, Janne Karlsson. Anybody know? Swedish people know. SAS Janne. His name was, yeah. He took over as CEO for SAS, airline company in Sweden, in the 80s. SAS was really down at the bottom. Everybody hated it. It was weird because they flew people from here to New York and Canary Islands and everywhere. But anyway, he came in and was going to try to make sense of it all. The thing is, what he came up to was something called customer-driven economy. It was amazing in the 80s. Now it's kind of natural. But he came up with something called first moment of truth. And it's actually the foundation in how this crowd reference marketing works today. We had stimulus. SAS made a lot of marketing, big ads, a lot of money, telling people fly with us. And people did. They bought a flight. They flew from here to whatever they're going to go. Everything was fine. But still, people hated them. And they didn't understand why. And then he started looking into this first moment of truth. You saw these ads, you bought the ticket, you came in, and you checked in your luggage, and there was some grumpy person standing there giving you shit. And that was your first kind of impression, the first moment of truth. That colored all your experience. And in those times, there were no internet. So you went home, you're never going to fly with SAS anymore. You told your mom, you told your friends and whatever at work, don't go there. And it spread, and the rumor got really bad. Maybe you heard of it. Yeah, 1 minute passed. No, 2. It's slowing down a little, though. It's kind of weird. Let's check this out. Today, we have the same kind of procedure. Word to mouth is always going to be the best thing. Satisfied clients, customers, whatever, is always going to be your best marketing. But the difference with the internet, of course, when people think something today, they share it. And usually, more often, bad stuff and the good stuff. If the kind of mankind's natural state. If you lie for something, you don't say shit. If you're a little disappointed, you tell the world. You can do reviews on Facebook, your Trustpilot. There are 1,000 ways to just show the world what you think. And the thing is, when somebody says something about anything, that becomes the other people's zero moment of truth, the truth. An example, we're going to check out hotels, me and my wife, for next summer. And she's sent me some links to some great hotels. I went into the site. Hi, welcome. Went into the site and saw all the beautiful pictures, the text, the room looks great, everything. And I went out to the reviews. And it said something about the breakfast wasn't good, the cleaning wasn't done properly. So I just shoved it away, answered my wife and said, no, we're not selecting this hotel because the cleaning is bad. And who wrote the review? Some Berra 0007. I have no idea who this Berra is. You know? But still, I just tell my wife that no, we're not going there. And even worse, it could be 1 week later, one of my friends come up and say, hey, have you heard about this Paradise Hotel, whatever. It wasn't the name, but anyway. Paradise Hotel, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, don't go there. Bad cleaning, you know. And he's like, oh, no, no. And he actually thinks I believe that. And it comes because it becomes my truth. If you multiply this by millions in the social media effect, it becomes really powerful. Now I was telling you about the bad stuff because it's usually how it goes when it spreads naturally. It's the bad stuff. But if you do this on the upside, the positive side, it's the strongest, most effective kind of marketing you can have. So, to sum this up, the feedback loop is everything. We don't buy what you sell, kind of. We buy what other people buy. Do you get what I mean? When you look at a product, you look at a service, usually when you come in contact with something and you make a buying decision or whatever, it's because somebody you had a relationship with, or you think, because you read a review, you believe something about that product already. Nowadays, you usually never believe the person that's trying to sell it. You always check what other people think. So, we don't buy what other people say, what you sell, we buy what other people buy. And this comes down to this, content. You heard about content marketing, a lot of cool words in marketing. Usually the 3-letter word stuff. I don't understand half of it, but anyway. And the problem with the social media sphere, or whatever, is that if you're an individual or your company or you have a fan page or whatever, it doesn't matter. All the activities in your network. How many have Facebook accounts here? All right. Okay, we're going a little poll here. Instagram? Oh, it's grown. LinkedIn? Oh, Snapchat? Oh, yeah, me too. It's just because otherwise I can't reach my kids. They don't answer on SMS anymore. They just have to Snapchat them. Dinner is ready. if you take everything, all your friends, doesn't matter, you don't have to have too many friends, you have 300 or 400 friends, you have some pages you follow, companies, whatever, influencers. If you take everything that happens in your network, all the likes, the comments, blah, 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 in your network, if you believe that you should see everything that your friends are doing or your fan pages or influencers, but you don't. Because if you would see everything, you would stand like this for 24 hours a day and it would just flow. And that's one channel, because it's so much happening. And since your networks are growing, it's more and more, it's added. For every person, there's like a ton of activities that are supposed to go in your flow. So, probably heard about this. Facebook and all the other, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, they've been changing their algorithms. They can only show, at the moment, around 10% of what's actually happening. So what you see is 10% what's happening in your network. And if you turn this around, if you're a fan page or a company and going to reach out, so you have 10,000 followers, and you think that every time I post something nice, 10,000 people will see this, but it's actually not true. The network only sends it out to a small portion, testing your content, because there is no room for everything. So they're testing your content and looking for response. What kind of response does it get? Have you noticed that there are some people among your friends that always shows up? It is because you interact with them. It's like the natural thing. You don't interact with people you don't like, or you don't talk much with. You interact with the people at home or the closest friends that you talk a lot with. The same here. So, and this percentage is also decreasing all the time, since the amount of data that's flowing around out there is growing all the time. So how do you reach out with this? It doesn't matter what kind of network you're on, or if you're doing YouTube or Snapchat or Facebook, LinkedIn, or whatever. It comes down to start asking yourself a couple of questions. Instead of just posting, you have to start asking yourself, why do I post this? And all my followers, why do they follow me? What do they want? For example, when somebody comes up to you and says, oh, follow me on Facebook, you should pause a little and then you say, why should I follow you on Facebook? And you wait for the answer and you say, yeah, because I want to have followers. Yeah, it's good, but why should I follow you? What do I get in return? Since there's only a limited amount of space in my flow, so why should I follow you, and what will you put out there? What is the response I want from my followers? When should I put it out, and how should I measure the response? How should I know if they like my content or not? It all starts with interaction. It's like I'm running a company, and then I sent out a guy to be on this big breakfast network meeting, and there was a lot of people there. And I asked, oh, how did it go? Oh, good, great. It was 100 people there. Oh, great. Did you do any business? Did you talk? No. Just being there isn't enough. It's about the interaction. How many you connect with. That's the value. And we connect more and more by emotions. We've always been connected by emotions, but more and more. If you take away all the other stuff now, it's more and more about emotions. So if you want to have an impact, it is about emotions. That's why these little movies with kittens, cats, kittens, is it the right word? Yeah, small kittens, is running around everywhere. It's fun, it triggers something, oh, it's so cute, and my kids are always watching these failure movies when people are going on a skateboard, hitting themselves everywhere. Triggers their...
Sorry, you said 10% of your output is being, your output is being seen by 10% of the people following you.
Yeah.
But you also said that interactivity leads to
Increase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But does that mean that the percentage goes up?
Yes.
So if I stay on Facebook and live my whole life on Facebook, then all of a sudden 30% of my followers will see my friend?
Good question. I can clarify that though. That's a really good question. No, I don't have the total answer, because the networks, Facebook, Instagram, they don't tell you exactly how it works, but it's like this. If you do tests, it works like this. When you post something, let's say you have 10,000 followers, when you post something, they send it out to small portion, like kind of a test. You know. They send it out to some few. If they don't interact, because the only way Facebook can know if the content was good is in the response, what you do. So if you just the people who are seeing it just pass it by, maybe they read it, but they didn't do anything. Facebook takes that like, okay, they didn't like it. So if nobody interacts with your content, it stops there. It doesn't go any further.
So it might only be 3%.
Yes, it could be. And then, but as soon as you send it out, you post your content, and people interact, they send it out to more and more of your followers. That's one thing. And another thing is the people that interact, share. As soon as they interact, they share it because they like a comment, or their friend sees that, and it spreads. That's kind of the social network exponential growth. For if you have one person and they comment, 300 people see that, and other people. And then in my LinkedIn account, I have 1,400 connections in my first line. In my second line, I have 350,000. In my third line, I have just about 35 million in just the third line. So if I could get all 1,400 commenting on my post, and all those 350,000 also commenting, it would be an amazing reach. I'm working on that, but I haven't found the right sentence yet to put out there, or movie. But you're correct. So interaction is one of the key figures to do this. You do this to just create interest and start a dialogue. Every foundation of a relationship is a dialogue. To share stuff and to educate, and this builds this. Every business, every lasting thing is built on creating a relationship. The ads we put up before, or just the marketing kind of values we put up before, just by taking the ads, putting on Facebook, saying how good we are, how big we are, listen to this, buy this, do this, doesn't create any relationship. It's a one-way street. I'm telling you what to do, and then if you don't do it, you're idiots. No, but that's kind of the way ads works when it's not a dialogue. I'm just going to show you a quick example of a company I've been working with. They're selling exclusive fishing trips to the north of Norway, and they were trying to grow their base of followers and try to make business out of social media. Before, they just put up a lot of pictures and nobody cared. Oh, it was great pictures, but nobody actually cared and didn't give them anything back. So we thought about what kind of relationships are the most important in our business. And it was a simple answer. It's the travelers. The people that are going on our trips are the ones that are communicating the best, their excitement of the trips. So we asked Eric. He was a traveler up to one of his trips. We asked him, could you just take a couple of pictures a day, 1, 2, whatever, and just write 1 or 2 sentences of your, how you feel, whatever. Just write something from your heart, what you feel, your experience, or whatever. And he's like, yeah, great. And he got a fishing rod on the side. Everybody's an influencer. And he wrote this personally, and we added it on the blog, on the webpage, and also shared it on the Facebook page. I thought this was gonna. Now we found a way, and nothing happened. And I was looking at this, and I was thinking, where is the problem? And the problem was when he put it on the blog. The story was communicated from us, from the company. And what was it? They don't buy what I sell, they buy what other people buy, right? So, we changed it. We made Eric an administrator, and he published on our Facebook page himself the whole story, the pictures. And the key was his relationships, because he had people on Facebook that loved him and had a relationship to him. And they loved his story. And these 300-400 have 300-400 friends each. And that affects the algorithms, it makes the spread, and also it creates personal relationship. This little campaign gave 800 followers A lot of interest, questions, clients, 0 crowns spent, 800 ambassadors, new clients, and a really great thing. There was a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to go there. Do you go to Canada? Do you go to the States? We got a lot of new locations that people want to go to. So we get a really good relationship with all our followers that give business. So it's the relationship that is the foundation of marketing. And it's a word for this, and it's called sell without selling.
Sorry. Do you think it would have worked better, even better, if he would have published it on his account instead of going through your company account?
He could have, but yes, he could have. Definitely, he could have put it on his account, which he did also. He put up normally when you go on vacation, you put up stuff.
Right.
But the problem is, then you have to have you can do that, but you have a communication that you have to tag and make sure that otherwise it doesn't give anything back to the company. But it doesn't matter. You can do it both ways. But the important stuff is the sender and the relationship you show in this. Because when the company put it out, it sounded like, yeah, we have one guy here. He's called Eric, and he likes this, and it sounds like an ad.
Right.
And that's the problem. It's not personal. So the thing is to be able to sell without selling. And how do you do that? And we have some masters in the audience. The biggest thing we've been doing since Stone Age is storytelling. I mean, hear that a lot, but storytelling is the key to every core business. We're very good. When I sit with people, musicians, companies, individuals, influencers, whatever, they have a story. They have a life story, and they tell me that. But then I look at their marketing communication. It doesn't say that at all. It says something else. Look at this. This is good. This is good. I'm the best. Blah 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 blah. We have to be focusing on our stories. And this is the why, the purpose, why we do stuff, and to share value. This is the thing also with marketing nowadays. You can't just say what I want. I want you to buy this. I want you to download this. I want you to get blah, 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 blah. You have to give something back. Otherwise, it's no relationship. And to just give back what I buy isn't enough anymore. Because there's so many that offers the same thing you do. That's the thing. Now we have the possibility to compare and search the whole world instead of before you just had it locally. So you have to give something else. And the same thing, we want to be a part of something. We says the world is shrinking because the internet, but also what's growing is our wish to be a part of something. That's where all this crowd sourcing, crowd funding, crowd whatever, and it's called co and crowd creativity. Same with reference, crowd reference. We want to be a part of something with many other people. And this is a really strong way to use, for example, could be if you're producing something, you can ask your clients, what do you think? Do you want to be part? Can you give us feedback? And your ideas will influence our product development. Or in music, they can be a part of the creation or whatever. As long as they feel like they're part of it, they're going to buy it. And it comes down to this. Anybody know who Simon Sinek is? This is called the golden circle. And I love this one. Usually, all marketing before is gone from what to how to why. We usually tell people what we have, how we do it, and why buy it, get it. From the outside in. I make great phones, and we make them really environmental. And why? Because, yeah, we have great phones or something like that. Or you do as Steve Jobs. He didn't want to create computers at all. He just wanted to change the world. He wanted to change the balance and influence the world in putting a personal computer in every person's hand. That was his why he started it. And how are you going to do it? He's going to make them so everybody can use them. They're going to be user-friendly. They're going to be beautiful to have on your table, blah, 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 all that. And it's going to be a computer. So he started with why, and went out to how and what. So if you go from your own why, it's always going to last longer. The what in your business is usually going to change. For example, in my line of business, it's been changing all the time. What I do has been changing. I've been doing marketing and communication since the mid-90s. It's changed since then. So what I do always changed, but why I do it has actually not changed. I love to teach people. I like to see when people say, yes, now I understand. And I want to see, give people the insight of how marketing works. So my why usually never changes. That's why I get up in bed every morning. We're usually not inspired of what you do anymore. Before it was, you had one neighbor and he was a really cool guy. And today, you search for, you have 1,000 YouTubers, you have 1,000 people, you can see anybody in the world and you read about them. So what you do, there's a million people doing the same thing. But usually, you're unique because you do something for a reason. We are inspired why you do it. By your story. So, took it up.
I'm Jake, manager from the UK. We're talking here, you're talking to a room full of music people.
Yes.
And you're giving excellent overviews of marketing. And some of the stuff you said, I've been going, oh yeah, but it's artists, we're not product. And with the last two that you've done, it really tied together for me with the why thing, that what I'm seeing, regardless of what I think about, no, we're about art, we're not selling stuff. What I'm seeing is that the artists who are doing best are the ones that are coming with a social story, an angle, the why thing.
Yes.
And I think we have within our vocabulary, we struggle to understand the why, how that relates to an artist.
Yes.
You can see it with beautifully with the Steve Jobs thing.
Mm.
If I just wrote a song, the what, it's hard to then go back into the why, but what you're saying is definitely correct. It's just sometimes hard.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, of course. I made it wider. I could have streamlined into music and music examples, but I want to take it. But you're totally right, and it comes down to this marketing evolution. And you're totally correct, because the thing is, in this one, when you talk about the music stuff, I have some friends. I'm not a musician. I can do like 5 chords on guitar, but I have some friends who are musicians. And the thing is, I've been knowing them for a long time. And not actually that successful, but anyway, the reason is this: their songs, what they put out, their audience is the what, and I've known them for 10 years, and it's been changing from like kind of a country stuff to electronic. It's been changing, and how they play it from different instruments and where they want to do live shows, or they want to just put stuff up on Spotify and YouTube and whatever. It's also been changing. But the thing is, when I talk to them, they're why they create the music. They want to impact. They want to influence. For example, one of our friends, they had a really tough life, and all his music. When he tells the story, he says it's his life. He tells the story of his life all the time. And when he tells me that story, and I listen to the music, and I listen to his the timeline from he started till now, I can actually hear his story. But that's because I know the guy. We have dinner every now and then. How the heck should his audience know this? For them, it's just a song. It's like, all right, it sounds great, but it's 1 million songs like this one. Or actually 20,000 new every day on Spotify. So, to communicate the why first, this is why I do it. Then people will follow. And that comes down to the strategy. How do I work with this? How do you work with this? And it's no rocket science, but it's called indirect marketing. And it starts with a relationship, or actually it starts with interaction first, but it is relationship. And it goes over to brand, and it ends in something you want. You want loyalty. You want somebody to follow you. Like people ask me, why do I have an iPhone and Apple when Samsung is much better? I don't know. I just like Apple. Maybe something Steve Jobs said when, I don't know. But I just stay there. It feels good. It feels right. I can actually not put my finger on it. But it starts with a relationship. And this is, you have to listen to your audience. What do they want to hear? And this is, when it comes to marketing, when you put stuff out, it's not just to post videos and whatever. You listen for the response, for the interaction. If I stand in a room and everybody turns around and walks away or doesn't say anything, it doesn't go through. It doesn't matter if you talk to 10, I have 100,000 followers. Yeah, who gives a crap? Nobody's listening. It doesn't matter. It's better to have 100 followers that interacts with you. Because those 100, when they interact, they spread that to their 400 each, 100 times 400. And since they have a relationship to each other, it's going to spread even wider. You know what I mean? So 100,000 people doesn't mean anything if it stops in the first line. The power is the second and third line when it's spread. And you spread by interaction. So you have to listen what your target audience, what your audience want to hear. What kind of story do they want? What kind of emotions triggers them? And it usually when it comes from the heart, it usually triggers somebody, but when it's honest. And you adapt and you respond back. That is called dialogue. And that creates relationships. It could be that when you then create a relationship, you want to build a brand. You want to fill it with something. Now we have a relationship, you follow me, it looks good. You want to fill it with something. And you want to give something back. For example, I've follow a lot of people on internet, and education is something we love taking on information. It could be either you follow a great artist on the net, and he just put out, oh, now I have a new song, buy this one, download this one, listen to this one, and it all comes this way. What if my favorite artist suddenly just looked in the camera and said, do you want to be able to play my song on your guitar? I'm going to show you how to do it. And in a 5 parts YouTube video clip, intimately the artist shows you how to play one of his songs or make the right chords, whatever. That is how to educate. One of my biggest idols just taught me how to play a song. That counts for me, or someone else, or whatever. How to write a song, or tell many people about how did you come up with these lyrics. Just tell the story. Show them how your creation is done. That's the story. Share it and tell your story over and over again. And what creates loyalty? And it's also access. The thing that if I can be a part of something, I usually never want to leave. And also, I want to be a selected part. That's why VIP clubs, special member clubs, gold cards around your neck, they're cool, we like it, we can go right, backstage pass. We like those. And it's easy to create those groups. Not everybody want to be in them, but some people could be a special selected group that could get special passes to your show, or to a live act, or a special first-hand views of a video or whatever. And those people are going to be your top ambassadors. They're going to spread it, and they're going to be the ambassadors for all the things you do. And that gives them value in everything you do. Is that all right? Did it sum up? The thumb up. And I will also talk about that, because the thing is with the relationship, I want you to go out and physically take away your like button and the heart button of Instagram and all those. We do not communicate with thumbs. That was many, many, many years ago when we talked like that. We don't. If somebody says something, somebody write a review, if somebody says something, whatever, or comment on your post, I see this all the time. I have to scrutinize myself. And the person that put it out, somebody makes a nice comment, and they're like adding this doesn't create relationships. Thumbs up is, if somebody says, oh, you're great. it doesn't create anything. Take that away. Make it a human way. Answer people. Like if somebody says something to you, oh, you're great, I loved it, blah, blah, blah. You would answer them. So answer them in the same way. It's just it's the same people, it's just they're sitting behind a computer or a phone. It's not like digital weird people. You understand what I mean? So take away those like buttons. This is the a strategy model that I'm working with, so you can take a picture of this in one condition, you share it, and you tag me. That's my kind of marketing. But it's a good way. You have to think about when you post something, either you think about your total strategy of a new album or just one post, you have to think about, why do I post this? What should I put in there, and what is the response I want? What is the response I want? Do I want, I want everybody to like, comment, share, but people are not going to do all that kind of thing. If people want to share something, it's because they think if I share something, all my network, I believe all my network are interested in the stuff I found. I'm not just going to share just to be nice to you. I'm going to share something because I think my network, my connections, are going to find that value in it. So you have to think about, so if you want people to share stuff, give value. If you want some people to comment your stuff, ask a question. That's easy. If I want a response, I ask, how do you do, what's your name? And they usually respond. What do you think about this? So if you ask a question or anything like that, they usually comment. So think about what the response is. And then choose your channels so you don't post everything everywhere, the same thing everywhere. Just don't put up the same kind of message in everywhere, because most of the people have both Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, LinkedIn, and so forth. And the thing with the algorithm, if I see your post first on Instagram and then I see it on Facebook, I'm not going to interact one more time. I'm not going to say, hi again, oh, write the same comment. You understand what I mean? So you get an interaction on Instagram, but you lose on Facebook. So think about, what kind of message do I want to put out in each channel? Here I have a kind of a backstage view over my daily life, and here I tell my story and share this, and do a selection in your strategy. Because then people are going to interact, different audience is going to interact with different stuff. And it's also easy for you to say, follow my Instagram, because here you can follow my daily life, and follow my here, because this is what I'm going to give you. When am I going to put it out? How much am I going to put out, and where and when? So make a plan. Maybe you're just you, if you have a whole entourage, whatever. Who is going to do this? When I talk to companies, it's discussing who's going to put it out. And do they want it, and do they know how to do it? There is a very big difference between writing content and writing writing good content. So take help from people that knows how to actually build and tell your story. There are a lot of really good people that can help you to how to tell your story. That's a good model. So, knowledge, insights, and results. And this is the thing. Knowledge before was something I learned from my mom in school. Knowledge today is common. I cannot teach you anything here that you can't find on YouTube. It's actually, you didn't have to be here. You can just YouTube some clips and just find the same thing. But hopefully what I'm trying to do is to give people insights. Knowledge is like a hammer, a saw, and a screwdriver. It's good things to have, they're the best. If you use a screwdriver when you have a nail, it's not going to work very well. So how to use the tools we have is the insights. And when you have the insights of how to use it, that gives you the results. So you don't have to be on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever. They're just tools, it's just means to an end. So think about how you want to use them and why you want to use them, and it will give you the results. And also, most people, when it came to early marketing, like 10, 15 years ago, you usually made a plan for the whole year. I'm going to have 4 ads in the newspaper there, made a lot of plans. When it came down to social media marketing, and I asked, do you have a plan? And, no, I just want to have as many followers as possible. Do an ad, 100 today. You just count followers and likes and stuff like that. You don't count relationship or anything else. The only way this works is that you make a plan for it. doesn't have to be a detail, but a plan. What do I want to measure? Otherwise, it's just going to come down. If you have a goal and you don't have a plan, it's just going to come down to wish. You're going to add followers. It's not that hard to get followers, but you're not going to build a relationship, and it's not going to give you the results you want. That's it. You have any questions? Anyone? No. Fantastic. Perfect insight giving it. So if you have any questions or anything, you can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. If you thought the things I've said was correct, share it. If you think I was wrong, share it. Yeah, please share. Even if you think I was totally wrong, that's all right. And if you took some weird pictures of me, share that as well. It doesn't matter. I GDPR approve everything. So just add and share. More the merrier. And I answer everything. And if you have any personal questions or about your careers or your accounts, just send me a personal message or public, and I will answer all of them. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening.